Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Ito, and welcome to a little bit more ESEA main action. It's been a while since I was able to cover NERO Esports and their run through the ESEA main season, but I decided, better late than never. I'm just going to be going through actually two demos today, and just going to be trying to cover, see what they've been up to, all of that good stuff. As you can probably tell, my name is Ito. You can see in the bottom left of your screen at any time in case you forget. But hey, let's just go ahead and get right into this one. It's going to be West Coast Pizza Rats facing up against our boys on NERO Esports. Really taking a gander at what they're doing at the moment. I'm not noting anything all too interesting. There is two players who are fighting for top banana control, which could be maybe a pivot point for the later points of this round here, and it's already different than what NERO Esports usually do on their pistol. I usually remember them fighting a bit more for banana. I think occasionally we see double stack from them. This time, while there is a fight for a banana, it's going to be quickly shut down. Seti's watching, and will easily dome down JJ without further issue. Rotates coming in. It's actually only just one at the moment, and NERO Esports are just still going to try to pincer their way on in. They know that the numbers aren't going to be great at the moment, but Seti sure as hell is great. 3 kills on the site. If he gets anything more here, sheer robbery. It's actually 4 kills for Seti before he's eventually snuffed out. But my god, he was an absolute monster on that pistol. I don't even know if there's anything more he theoretically could have done. If he got that ace, I would have absolutely lost my mind. But hey, it's impossible to ask for anything all too crazy. My god, did Seti deliver though on that pistol. Making it relatively clean. I think they only lost one member, West Coast Pizza Rats, and, even if they did, yeah, they only lost one player, it being Seti. And, I mean, still, the numbers are going to be favoring the side of West Coast Pizza Rats. They're not going to be aggressing all too much here. Commission does spot somebody and tries to hold the line with Moss. And surprisingly, NERO Esports are just kind of feeding themselves in. Those trades are, I think, a little bit too lackluster. They were afraid of maybe the continuous spray from Commission. Unfortunately, that's a hit that NERO will just have to take here. It's a 3-for-1. And although that FAMAS has been retrieved, the chances of them actually being able to make anything with it are very, very slim. We're watching Crackshot pick it up here. JJ, meanwhile, is all his way through T-Apps. Just trying to pick off this player towards the alternative mid-side, if anything. And no one actually seems to be watching for it. JJ might be able to sneak up. Oh, spots ahead. Spots a kill. There you have it. Now, it's a little bit of space for NERO Esports to work with, but still, it remains slim. Stanley is going to be able to catch off both players as they're coming up towards porch side. So, yeah, it's just going to end pretty anticlimactically. Little bit of a fumble, perhaps you can say that, on the side of West Coast Pizza Rats just by not spotting or even thinking about the potential alt mid push. Because, at that point, you have to wonder, okay, well, if they're not actually pushing me mid, maybe alt mid is an issue, Maybe, hell, even trenches is going to be an issue. So, it's just kind of a matter of timing, that sort of thing. And I suppose maybe their internal timer was a little bit off. And I can definitely tell the internal timer for West Coast Pizza Rats is at least a little bit messed up because they've lost 2 players in the blink of an eye. This round has barely started, and it's a 3v5. Munchin. I don't know why I said Munchkin. It's close enough, but those are quite clearly 2 H's. He's going to be holding close with an MP9. This is a bit of a bonus, I suppose you can say, for West Coast Pizza Rats. Their money still isn't incredible. You can take a gander at the left side of your screen anytime to tell. I mean, hey, this is still probably going to have to be a save for everybody who's not named Munchin if they lose this one. But NERO Esports look to close the gap, make this 5v3 into something a little bit sweeter. And my god, are they doing it well. 1 kill found for Maz on the entry in. Make the bomb plantable. Very, very easy to defend as well. NERO Esports, they can basically hope for any defense that they want at this point. Frez, although he's wiggled his way up through coffins at the moment, I think he's made his presence known. Crackshot should be watching for it at this point. Now, definitely, he's going to be watching for it. The bullets have given his position away. Frez still will find that kill. Thanks to the Molotov, actually. It's going to be Stanley to pick it up. But a 4v1, obviously, his chances are not exactly favorable. So he's just trying to get at maybe with an AK or something if he's lucky. But still, minimal damage again for the side of NERO Esports. 3 exits through Banana and 1 still remaining over towards the CT spawn. Frez, well, yeah, he's not going to have the best time. I was wondering if Siphon is going to be watching for that. Simple as that. 2 rounds still for West Coast Pizza Rats, but NERO Esports are getting about ready to close that distance. Again, look at the eco for the side of the West Coast Pizza Rats. It's not looking wonderful. You're going to see maybe a couple of upgraded pistols. Stanley actually choosing to pick up the Zeus, so maybe look out for him playing close apartments, I would imagine. Smoke flash and a molly through. Good stack of util, but that's basically all that the Pizza Rats have to work with, so now they're just going to need to find these frags. It's a nice setup over towards the Banana, however. I'm actually really liking it. This could be lethal. Indeed it is. Stanley, by the way, with Zeus holding close apps. Gonna keep an eye on this, because I think a bunch of fights are about to happen at the same time. But I'm more interested in Zeus. Maybe that was a mistake. Complete massacre at basically both sides of the map. And the dam will be broken. NERO Esports, they can take this wherever they want to, but they don't even need to get to his site before the round is over. 2-2. And once again, we have ourselves on even footing. At least this time, West Coast Pizza Rats, they'll have a little bit more to work with, but it's still going to have to be a double save, you know? Their money was really, really bad after that last one. I kind of like what SETI is doing here, only getting Deagle armor. This makes it so they can probably get an op, maybe even a double op if Stanley doesn't, you know, maybe if he pops off or something. All in all, though, I can pretty safely say that NERO Esports are going to be able to continue this into a 3rd round. There is just a big, big hint of yellow in the kill feed, and it's not looking any bit better as time goes by. Munchin at least will hold down the line with a single Deagle kill. So that's a gun out of the hands of the of the NERO Esports side, but really, again, nothing to write home about. And there you have it. Yep. The ops do indeed come into fruition, and this could actually be really, really interesting because it's not going to be the double op that I was expecting, but I'm wondering if Stanley, he has been playing a little bit more aggressive than the rest of his teammates, and I'm thinking maybe, does he push alt mid or something? Does he go for the Balk peek? Probably not after that molly, but he could still go for something really aggressive, and that would be an awesome change of pace. NERO Esports might not be ready for that. Well, actually, maybe it does seem that NERO Esports are at least somewhat ready for that. The nice util stack over towards apartments is going to completely ward off any potential aggression from Stanley. So maybe just a good read. Maybe part of their default on a rifle round. Who exactly knows? Either way, it does the trick just perfectly. Siphon will toss down the smoke to make it so Stanley basically can't exactly hope to find any sort of line of sight. He'll just have to rely perfectly on sound. That's not exactly the most reliable benchmark to get your kills, isn't it? Brackets control firmly in the hands of NERO Esports at the moment. There is a retake for Banana control here, but that will only prompt NERO to toss out a couple of HEs. So wonderful default so far from the NERO Esports boys. I gotta say, this T side is looking pretty ironclad. Munchin is going to be retaking, I would imagine at least. Brackets control and a bit of an unfortunate spray there. Regardless, that doesn't matter. NERO Esports, their destination isn't the A bomb site whatsoever. It's going to be B. You can tell that there's a couple of players stacking up towards the top of it, and rotates are a little bit finicky. They have 2 players from the Rats going ahead and actually holding the line, but one of them is already going to be removed. They have rat poison. They have everything that they could ever hope for. NERO Esports, 2 kills. Bomb just about to get planted. And a very, very shambolic rotate from Stanley. Luckily, he gets a kill on top of it, but extending for anything more kind of feels suicidal. Yeah, he's still going for it. He's going for another kill if he so possibly can, and somehow he doesn't get it. Oh, Maz, he's somehow going to be able to get away from this one alive. Eventually, he's going to be taken out, but it takes so much effort. And now NERO Esports, they've taken a bit too many shots, so they're going to try to take this one a little bit safely towards the end of it. Stanley holds a corner. There's even a TK for good measure. But eventually the op will be picked up, and Corroded Beef will take it into the next round. incredibly scary collapse from the Pizza Rats, but eventually that's not going to be good enough to exactly call it a round win, and it will be 4 for the NERO Esports side. I think they've broken the economy once more. Just a standard nade stack plus an actual collapse down mid should actually be good for maybe a kill or two if they're lucky. Or maybe Maz could just pop off and find 3 kills. There's really, you know, one of 2 options. Everybody's dead. Well, that's how you play an anti-eco, isn't it? Not much of a chance whatsoever to exactly make an indent. Looks like we have a pause coming through. I would imagine doesn't exactly seem like the most necessary time for it to be called. I feel like the West Coast Pizza Rants, you know, it was really only one good rifle round that they gave up, and it was still, you know, a 1v1 at the end of it. Or, you know, reliably a 2v1. There's a TK. I don't really think that counts. Aggression is going to be on the cards, and Stanley, that's a shot I think I can always rely on him hitting. It's a banger. And that's going to be the perfect opening for the Pizza Rats. In fact, it's a completely different change of pace adopted by the CT so far. Now that they found that pick, as you might imagine, they're not going to be aggressive whatsoever. They're going to be going back to these safer angles. Now NERO Esports will have to fight tooth and nail to even take brackets. 3 players about ready to go ahead and fight for their life. And with Siphon being spotted, Munchin will basically have to concede and let Stanley do some of the legwork here. Has spotted, and takes the shot onto Siphon. It's a nice little leg shot. His foot is going to be bleeding. But still he stays alive. Not exactly healthy though, but nor exactly are any members of NERO Esports. JJ is the only one who I can confidently say is incredibly healthy. Everybody else is within one-shot range of those M4s, and it should be kind of the guillotine closing in upon the NERO Esports camp at the moment here. I don't see anything proving me otherwise. Crackshot perhaps is going to provide an argument though. Gets that first kill and will try to wrap in through Moto, but still 2 players remain on the site here, and this could easily be lethal. Munchin in from behind will find 2 kills and has done his job perfectly. Now he just needs to buy time. The rest of his teammates are in to go ahead and help save the day. JJ can't do anything but give up his life as well, join his teammates in the afterlife, and allow Pizza Rats to find number 3. What a wonderful round from the Pizza Rats. It all started with that pick out from Stanley, really. You know, being able to make it a 5v4. And then, you know, even though it wasn't the biggest fight for brackets control, the fact that they still held on to it relatively well, I think, is honestly pretty great. Pizza Rats, again, they're trying to change up the pace, but this time it's a lot more bloody. I'm not exactly loving this. I don't think trying to aggress Banana would have exactly been the right move there. I think mid would be a lot more exploitable, and you can see Stanley's going to be exploiting just that. You know, hindsight is 2020. We have the benefit of being able to see everything, but I mean, it's just like if he got away with it last round, I don't think NERO Esports are going to be exactly quick enough to collapse upon it. You change up your approach to it, and you might be able to get away with it. This CT setup is, again, bulletproof. Maz isn't even lucky enough to get away with that first kill in a 1-on-3. So you will see the score just about evened up. It was a bit of a weird buy, honestly. More of a save than anything from NERO Esports. I know there's a player with the Tech 9. But this one, it's not going to be any worry whatsoever. Guns across the board. JJ getting his trusty AWP into the picture. And we'll see maybe him catch a player on the cross. Stanley doesn't seem to want to mess with it, excuse me. And NERO Esports are already feeling exactly what the Pizza Rats want to pull off here. Stanley has had to switch up his approach. This is definitely the case where you can't try to go for that alt mid peak unless you have a perfect smoke through, but even then it's going to be risky. You see that NERO already pushing and spraying through it. But this is a nice angle. Siphon might not be exactly ready, and maybe 70 HP given up. For the price of information? No. Stanley doesn't exactly want to fight for his life. A pop flash play through mid would have easily caught him off guard, and in fact, it doesn't even take a pop flash play to exactly go ahead and do the job to find a kill. In fact, make it double. It's double trouble on the A bomb site. Siphon has found 2 incredible entries. Is it going to seriously make it 3? He was damn well close to it. Stanley will have to back off with his life, and I think the rest of the Pizza Rats will join him. They're going to go hide in the sewer or something like that. Whatever Pizza Rats do. And cling on to these rifles with their life. NERO Esports, their money isn't all too terrible. I could see maybe someone like Siphon trying to extend for this kill, but it seems like basically everybody else who isn't named Siphon who will be fighting a little bit more for it. Stanley actually hit that one? Holy hell. I didn't expect that. Still don't. The round will go the way of NERO Esports here. If they can take down this op, that would be huge, but I think Stanley just might get away with it. No, he doesn't. He goes for the repeat, and I think that's maybe a bit too ambitious. NERO Esports aren't players to give up kills more than once. And because of that, they will be punished. The West Coast Pizza Rats will either have to choose to force up or just allow this one to fall by the wayside. They will go for the former option. Force up a couple of pistols. Stanley still healthy, has an MP9 in hand. And JJ is about to get overwhelmed. Why are they not shooting at him? Were they seriously blinded all the way running down alt mid? But it's such a weird collapse. This is easily going to be NERO just running it down B. There's no one home at all. This is a weird eco. The Pizza Rats, I think, were taking the pacifist approach to this round. I didn't quite get the chance to see, but I think they were blinded while running down alt mid. But are you really going to expect mid to be completely dry? Why not just like toss a couple of shots out if you're having a 5-7 or something? NERO Esports probably will only have Maz go and chase this one here. Maybe they could go ahead and toss it over to like Crack Shot or something if they want him to get a bit more money, but that's like a call that really I think at the time no one's exactly thinking of. They just got this round to 5v1. No reason to think about things economically. You don't have to overthink it at all. And Jesus Christ, Munchin. That 5-7 is absolutely nasty. Imagine if he did that damage while running it down mid. Maybe then it could actually be a round. NERO Esports will move up to 7 rounds, however. And things are looking better. Getting a majority of rounds on the T side would be nice. This map in recent times has definitely become a lot more T-sided. Just because of the util stacks, everybody has become a lot more comfortable with it. Maybe it's because of plays like that. 1-for-1s. That makes it so difficult. But definitely think of this map as more T-sided. You can get away with a lot of forces as well, so even the rounds where Ts do have to save aren't exactly all too unwinnable. Stanley, that is absurd aggression. My God. Those are the risks that West Coast Pizza Rats have been dying to take. Quite sometimes literally dying to take. And thing is, that's going to completely force NERO to force their hand early. They're going to have to make this mid-round call to bring it over towards B. I'm surprised with Stanley spotting this much information over towards B. There's not exactly a very great setup in the CTs. They're not checking the flower pots, excuse me, and I mean, it's just kind of surprising to me. NERO Esports are usually really, really good at checking that angle. You know, I've even seen Crackshot show up in chat a couple of times, and he talked about, like, yeah, we were almost, you know, always going to be checking that angle, but no, apparently not in this case. That angle is not checked whatsoever. Instead, he's going to be granted a nice little triple kill. On top of that 4K that he had on pistol, he's already up to 7 kills alone, but it's been quiet kind of in the mid-section of this game. Munchin opening things up, excuse me, but trades will once again litter the kill feed. But eventually NERO will be on the back foot of it. A very scrappy round. Only about 20 seconds into the mess and already so many kills have been found. Counting the dead will bring you up to 6. Wondering if Siphon is just thinking at this point if he wants to even try to go for a save. A minute and 10, I mean, it's not going to be exactly likely that you hold on to this gun for too long. Eventually, West Coast Pizza Rats probably will get a bit too big for their britches and try to push this, but they shouldn't. I mean, on paper, the CTs have such a, just a brittle economy, quite honestly. So Siphon probably could hold on to this gun safely, and if the West Coast Pizza Rats were to chase him down, they might lose an AWP, they might lose an M4, both of which would be hugely detrimental. But Siphon has always been the man to make plays, hasn't he? Spots a player. Here's a player over towards pit, but he won't even get that far to contest. Stanley is watching with the sniper, and will, as the sniper does, snipe him down. It's 6-7 at the moment. It's looking pretty beautiful in recent times for the West Coast Pizza Rats. Aggressing at really all the right moments in their trades were on point, at least for round number 13. Things could easily change, however. Nothing is certain. NERO Esports forced onto a couple of pistols. They do have that NERO AK in the hands of Siphon, but West Coast Pizza Rats are playing this just about perfectly. Their protocols are in place, and they know. They have been in this situation before. They know how to dismantle pistols. 7-7. We're all evened up heading into the final one of the half. It's going to be split right down the middle. But my lord, I can already be happy with this CT side. Again, as I mentioned, this really has been a bit more of a T-sided map in recent history. I'd say really ever since the advent of that economy change, it's been a lot more comfortable. And this actually isn't a really good looking round for NERO Esports. A lot of the things that make this map a bit more T-sided as of late are, that util stack that you see. The Molotovs, the HEs, none of which are in the hands of NERO Esports. They're sticking with your typical smoke splashes, which aren't terrible, mind you. But I'm not sure if it's exactly going to be what they need to break through this rock-solid CT hold that the West Coast Pizza Rats have been posting as of late. JJ will look to entry. Entry he will. With the AWP, it's extremely aggressive. It might be worth his trouble. Shot found, but it's only a leg shot, I believe. No, it's not even. Excuse me. Well, right at the same time, I think Corroded Beef took a bit of damage or something. I don't know exactly what I saw. I just woke up. That's my excuse. West Coast Pizza Rats, I mean, they're just kind of fighting banana perfectly here. JJ, you can get a couple of nice shots, but there's still players at the ready. And again, Frez probably shouldn't be fighting for this. Same story with Stanley, although he's healthy. It's at what cost? If NERO Esports actually win this round, I will be absolutely baffled. It's looking very likely. These ops are doing so much work for either which side. Stanley, still healthy. Can't say the same story for Frez, however. He's going to really be on trade-out duty. Maz needs to be calling for this flash from JJ, and it's perfect, but not perfect enough to find the kill. Still, Stanley remains alive. 11 points of health to his name, and JJ is just a little bit better. Sprays through the smoke to find both kills, and NERO Esports will barely inch out the Pizza Rats. They're not going to be getting away with a pizza slice. They're going to be getting away with 7 whole rounds to call their own. But that's not bad. Quite honestly, I think that's maybe not the best thing that you could ever hope for, but it's damn well not a terrible finish to this half. Bit of a brink. But we're heading into the second half. That's the magic of being able to cast over demos, I gotta tell you. Right now, I don't exactly know what to expect from the West Coast Pizza Rats here, if they have anything all too special in store for us. Right now, NERO are very, very scary with the fights that they're taking, but Siphon, again, he's just a little bit better. He knows how to take shots, and my God, it feels like he's just always going to be hitting these whenever he has a pistol in his hands. He is mechanically one of the craziest players I think I've seen for a good while. maybe those aren't the greatest show. My God, does he know how to hit some of the bad shots, some of the hard shots. And it is just over in the blink of an eye. A complete and utter massacre at the site. And you'll see it easily going the way of our boys on NERO Esports. So they pick it up. They go up to, excuse me, up to 9. I'm yawning. You know, you often yawn when you're excited, right? I've heard that before. Or when you're anxious, when you're nervous. I'm just nervous, man. I never know what to expect out of the NERO Esports squad. Maybe a couple of banger shots, but unfortunately, JJ isn't quite able to make that prophecy true. Force up for the Pizza Rats in the second round. With the Galil and AK, it's honestly not too bad, but I'm a little bit concerned about how they're going to be matching up against JJ. I think he's going to be that kind of player who is just so crafty and moves around everywhere. If they go over towards A, I'm quite concerned. But seems to be the opposite direction. The B-bomb site will be their destination of choice. Banana, all there is free of charge. Good HEN should find some damage. But I think maybe it's a little bit off. If it went over towards half wall, I guess it would have found more people, wouldn't it?